Hello and Assalamu Alaikum. I'm Mughira Jaleel. Welcome to Narramus. Behind the closed doors of rented apartments and modest homes, Pakistan's middle class, especially its white-collar workers, are quietly struggling with the crushing weight of inflation. In Pakistan, the middle class is generally defined as the households earning modest but steady income that allows for basic needs such as housing, education, healthcare, and transportation. According to the last 2018-19 survey by Pakistan's Bureau of Statistics, the average monthly household income was around 41,545 rupees. Even if we project this figure to 100,000 in 2025, using an idealistic approach, the financial situations remain grim. The monthly expenditure breakdown for a middle-class family of 5 in Pakistan highlights a total estimated cost of rupees 109,000, covering essential needs such as rent 25,000, utilities 12,000, groceries 30,000, transportation 10,000, education for 3 children 20,000, healthcare around 7,000, and miscellaneous expenses 5,000. This budget assumes a modest lifestyle with no allocations for dining, leisure, social gatherings, or dedicated clothing costs, indicating that even at this level, the family is limited to basic survival. This budget also excludes meat and fruit from groceries. It also provides no room for savings or emergencies. Meanwhile, salaries of middle class have stagnated for years, while cost of basic necessities has inflated. Public transport is unreliable, but private travel is unaffordable. Utility bills are another beast entirely. Even lunch at work has become a luxury, and yet they don't complain. They show up, they deliver. But this economic pressure is eroding the mental peace of our middle class. Education was once seen as a ladder of success by Pakistan's middle class, an investment that promised upward mobility. But today, even this foundational belief is under threat. For many, private education is now completely unaffordable, and public schools don't feel like a viable alternative. Some families have had to shift children to less expensive schools or even pull them out altogether. Others rely on scholarships or loans. In a country where education should be seen as a key to progress, this silent retreat will affect at national level. Healthcare has added another constant source of anxiety. For Pakistan's middle class, even a minor illness can derail an entire month's budget. Private healthcare centers are now completely out of reach. A single visit to a private clinic can cost more than a week's worth of groceries. Add diagnostic tests, medications, and follow-ups, and the numbers spiral fast. Public hospitals offer an alternative, but they are overcrowded, underfunded, and often short on emergency treatments. While long-term savings are drained by healthcare and education, the relentless monthly cost of rent, utilities, and social pressures feel like a monthly storm that middle class must brace for. Rent has skyrocketed in cities like Lahore, Karachi, and Islamabad. Electricity, gas, and water costs seem to increase unpredictably, leaving no breathing room. And then there's social pressure. Weddings, religious holidays, even birthdays come with financial expectations. These cultural obligations have become financial strain. People take loans not for emergencies, but just to maintain appearances. In the end, it's a daily balancing act between necessity and dignity. And through all this, saving for future remains a distant dream. Despite their growing hardships, Pakistan's middle class continues to be overlooked. White-collar workers are in a policy blind spot. They earn just enough to be excluded from welfare programs, but not enough to withstand the economic hardship. Meanwhile, this group is the engine that keeps much of the country running. They staff offices, run the banks, teach the children, and manage public services. Undermining their stability doesn't just hurt individuals or families, it weakens the nation's backbone. There is an urgent need to address the challenges faced by the middle class. Addressing the struggles of Pakistan's middle class requires both systematic reforms and cultural shifts. First, the government must step up. Salaries, especially in the public sector, need to be adjusted to inflation while ideally indexed to cost of living metrics like the gold rate or fuel prices. Tax brackets must be revised to ease the burden on middle income earners, and targeted tax credits should be introduced for education and healthcare. From 2022 to 2025, gross salaries rose by 56%, but income taxes surged by approximately 165%, significantly eroding real income gains. To address this imbalance, the government must exempt annual incomes up to Rs 1.2 million at least. It should also revise tax brackets to ease the burden on middle income earners, alongside the introduction of targeted tax credits for education and healthcare. Public services like schools, hospitals, and public transport must be improved to reduce dependence on expensive private alternatives. There is also need for subsidized housing initiatives and utility bill support. Access to low-interest loans for emergencies, particularly for healthcare and education, can prevent families from falling into debt traps. Most importantly, policymakers must stop assuming that middle-income earners are financially secure. They are not. Meanwhile, cultural expectations also need to evolve. The pressure to spend on extravagant weddings, gifts, or social gatherings is pushing families to live beyond their means. A shift towards modesty, practicality, and financial awareness is necessary. Employers also have a role to play, offering cost of living adjustments, mental health support, and flexible work options can make a tangible difference. Ultimately, a country cannot thrive while its most productive citizens silently collapse under pressure. It's time policymakers, employers, and society at large stop treating the struggles of middle class as background noise and start treating it as a national priority. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, stay safe and stay kind. Allah Hafiz.